Right, good morning, welcome back. Now if you've opened this video, you probably do your own metalwork or fabrication, or you're probably interested in doing your own fabrication, and maybe you're wondering whether diamond cut-off wheels are better than erosion cut-off wheels, the fiber type, you know, the standard abrasive wheel that we all use. Which one's actually better? Is either of them better, or are they just different ways to do the same thing? Let's have a look. Right, this began with the email that a lot of us are getting at the moment from Graf. Graf is a tool company in Belarus, in Europe, and they said, would you have a look at our Graf Black Diamond Cut-Off Wheel for steel? And I was quite interested because I've wondered about these myself. Normally diamond wheels are for stone and concrete and tiles and that kind of thing, but now they're being developed specifically for steel. And that's very interesting because there's a lot of money thrown away on discs. I use these fiber discs, I always have, they do the job, no problem at all. But they're between £1 and £2 each, and they don't last very long. They really don't. 5 or 6 cuts if it's heavyweight metal and you're through one. Out, that's it. With these, they claim 1,000 cuts on a disc. Now that's an awful big claim. So I'm not so worried about that. I'm more worried about whether they cut the same. Because it's okay that they last forever, but if they make a rubbish cut and they cause problems, then they're no good to me at all. So I'm going to set up some experiments in the vise. I'm going to do a split screen for you, one side and the other, doing both discs at the same time. I'm going to put the diamond disc in and then a fiber disc in and cut the same piece of metal. And you can see it in real time, side by side, happening. And you can compare the two on screen. I've got some 1mm sheet metal, some 1.5mm and some 3mm plate. I've got some box section, some angle iron and some bar. So I'm going to go through all those one at a time, cut them side by side, and when we've done that, we'll have a little roundup and see what we've found. Let's get on with it. So, in conclusion, between these two discs, well, completely different horses for completely different courses. This diamond disc, well, as you can see, the little sparkly diamond bits, they come out in the dust. They are already falling out, but I believe that's just running in. I think that's the excess that's got encrusted on there because that is still plenty rough. I can see the sparkles in the crust around it now, and I think that will last a very long time indeed. Well, time will tell. I'll keep using it and you'll see me doing so, and the day this dies, then I'll work out by then how long it lasted. But it won't be as short as one of them. This is the point. If you're going to use these, you don't go from that and think, oh, that's better, I'm going to use that. The diamond disc does not replace the fiber disc. I think it's a great complement though, because it's kind of like a rip saw. If you look at the metal that it cut, The cleanup needed with the diamond disc is insane. It makes rough cuts in the first place, and it leaves burrs that are absolutely brutal. They're not just sharp and large, they're also really strong, thick burrs. They need grinding off with a flat disc. And yes, it says you can use this to grind them off, but that's not the point. The point is they're there, and it's more time and also specification. And what I mean by that, if you cut a piece of metal for a job, a welding job, and it needs to be the right shape, angle, and size, with the diamond disc, if you're going to use that, you need to cut wide. With this, you need to cut off your specification line and leave yourself some cleanup material. Because if you don't, it's going to cut rough. By the time you've cleaned it up, you're off spec. So you need to consider that if you're using one of these. It's a rip saw, not a nice fine cut saw. For that, I would use the disc. So I think they complement each other perfectly. You can see that this takes longer to cut through, this takes quicker. You see this wears out and this doesn't. Honestly, you can go on about the pros and cons of these two systems all you like. I don't think it makes any difference whatsoever. They're not the same thing. What they are is a great partnership, and I'll be using them in that way. This will be for cutting quick rough cuts, getting rid of stuff, and this will be for the accurate cuts I need to make for fabrication. So there we are. So in conclusion, thank you to Graph Black. I like that. It's a good piece of kit. I will leave a link in the description below to lots of these and lots of these so you can make your choice what you want to buy. Thank you very much for your attention with this. On the next video, I'm back to the Triumph project. No more of these tool reviews for a long time now. I'm going to do these very, very rarely. On the Triumph, I've got to put the linkage on the right-hand side, the brake linkage, and then after that, I'll be getting into the rear mudguard, cut it down by about 60%, because at the moment, it's like an ironing board hanging out the back and looks ridiculous. Once that's cut down, it's pretty much time to strip for restoration. But here we are. That's it. Thank you for watching. Take it easy, ride safe, and I'll see you next time.